You wake up. Your phone unlocks, but only half the apps appear. A quiet icon flashes at the top. A score. You never opted in. No one really did. But it's there now. And it decides. What doors open, what jobs you see, what you're allowed to know. Not because you broke a rule, but because you might. The system doesn't punish. It shapes. And it starts with trust. Social credit isn't a sci-fi warning. It's a spreadsheet already open, quietly filling in. In China, it's formalized. Citizens rated by behavior, purchases, affiliations. Lend money to someone who defaults, your score drops too. Elsewhere, it's decentralized, fractured across apps and algorithms. Credit history, Uber ratings, Google tracking, each a separate metric, until they merge, not by design, but by drift. A convergence of control disguised as efficiency. There's no dystopian speech, no midnight knock. It feels like normal life, with tighter seams. You apply for housing. Something doesn't go through. You weren't denied, just deprioritized. You try to travel. The flight is unavailable. You refresh, still unavailable. Your profile didn't match the model's recommendation. No appeals, no error messages, just soft failure. Invisible walls, closing slowly. It began with convenience, phone-based ID, centralized health data, contactless payment. Every new tool made the system smoother, but also more fused. Fewer passwords, more linkage. Now a score drawn from hundreds of signals, late fees, tone of voice, proximity to flagged users. A reputation layer for reality. You never see the full rules, only the consequences, soft pressures, hard edges. Surveillance isn't the threat, prediction is. Cameras don't just watch, they learn. Gait recognition, facial tension, voice stress. They calculate risk before you act. Pre-crime without the science fiction. A system that rewards stability and punishes deviation, even imagined. Your worst moment? Logged. Your best behavior? Expected. You become less spontaneous, more calculated, a safer citizen, but less human. They say the system is opt-in. That's a half-truth. You can refuse to engage, but that's a signal too. Choosing privacy marks you as unpredictable, risky, someone who's harder to model. Your score doesn't drop from a mistake. It drops from misalignment, from breaking the invisible pattern. So people adjust, smile longer, complain less. Even in silence, they perform. This isn't about morality. It's about modeling. You're not judged as good or bad, just stable or erratic. Patterns are profitable. Deviations aren't. Even kindness gets ranked. Donate to the right charity, score boost. To the wrong one, penalty. And the list of wrong ones changes quietly. No explanation. Only drift. The algorithm doesn't explain itself. It just reroutes you. You notice your world shrinking. Certain websites load slower. Job offers evaporate. Notifications go quiet. It's not a bug. It's your score tapering. One friend gets flagged. Another disappears. You hesitate to message. That hesitation? It's the system working. Mutual distrust as design, enforced by math. Stability becomes isolation, but no one complains, because complaining is a signal too. Every system needs feedback. Here, it's your own reflection. Your behavior informs the model. The model adjusts your options. You adapt. It tightens. You adapt again. Eventually, you become what it expects, self-regulated, auto-censored, perfectly molded to fit through invisible gates. No force required, just incentives. The leash becomes internal. Governments love the idea, but private platforms perfect it. Apps rate everything: food, drivers, dates, coworkers. The friction is gone, so is the nuance. What feels like democracy is filtered judgment. One bad day, one wrong joke, and you're downgraded. Not banned, just buried. You're still here, just harder to notice. Your digital weight reduced, harder to hear, easier to forget. There's no need for law, just score thresholds, pass and proceed, fail and vanish, a point system without appeal. The logic is sound. After all, don't we want safe, stable societies? But whose values get coded? Whose fears become baselines? And what happens when neutrality is decided by a server update? You start noticing patterns. Certain opinions disappear faster. Certain posts get hidden. The algorithm claims neutrality, but its hand is everywhere, favoring familiar shapes, approved rhythms, clean sentiments. It doesn't censor, it curates. And curation shapes belief. Soon people think the same way, because the score likes it that way. People begin scoring each other in secret. A glance becomes data, a silence, suspicious. Dating apps filter by social metrics. Schools use behavioral tracking. Churches live stream attendance logs. You're always slightly visible, never alone. Even dreams feel rated. Hope becomes a liability. Ambition, a risk. Better to stay within bounds. To nod, agree, comply. The system rewards predictability. And predictability is safer than truth. But here's the twist. No one's really in control, not anymore. The system isn't evil, it's indifferent, built by engineers, scaled by capital, adopted by bureaucracy, a patchwork god, fed by data, guided by trends, answerable to no one. There's no mastermind, just momentum. The machine doesn't need to want anything, it just needs to run. And we keep feeding it. One day the system will glitch, not crash, just mislabel. A sudden drop, doors won't open, the train won't take you, your face won't scan, and you'll never know why. You'll just vanish into silence. No arrest, no warning, just removal, and the world moves on. Clean, optimized, safer, colder. Subscribe to Lurksignal while you still can.